Hello and welcome to today's webinar. We are super excited. Today we're joined by Nick from Star Clippers. Hi Nick.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. Very excited to talk about Star Clippers.
Good, we're excited to hear about it, and I'm sure those that are watching this video are really going to be blown away. What you're in for is a totally different cruising experience to what you think of cruising. So without further ado, Nick, I'll hand over to you.
Great, thanks Matt. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. And wow, Star Clippers, where do you start? Let's start at the beginning. We are the absolute pioneers in tall ship sailing. We've been sailing for over 30 years and we're a family-owned business. So our family are called the Crafts, and they are originally from Sweden and now they live in Monaco. And they have a passion for sailing, so much so that they created these 3 fabulous vessels that we now call Star Clippers. Now, we are the experts, and as you can see from our tall ships here, we know what we're doing. We know that because 70% of our customers come back year after year and cruise with us. Let me introduce our fleet to you. We've got Star Clipper and Star Flyer and Royal Clipper. Star Clipper and Star Flyer are sister ships. They're a 3-mast sailing ship and hold 166 passengers on each. Now, in any normal year, where we would be Star Clippers would currently be in Phuket, and she would be doing Phuket sailings around the beautiful national parks of Thailand. And then she'd be going on to do a couple of sailings around Borneo before going down to Bali and then back up to Singapore to do the rest of the winter out of Koh Samui and Phuket. So really different kind of sailing experience, but wonderful scenery and lots of water activities to immerse yourself in. Star Flyer, so she would normally be in St. Martin in the Caribbean, and then she would transatlantic back, which is a 16-night voyage back into the Med, where she'd be based out of Athens for the summer season and do the wonderful Greek islands before heading back to the Caribbean via the transatlantic for a winter season in the outer St. Martin. Then our flagship Royal Clipper is a 5-mast ship, and as you can see, she is absolutely beautiful. She holds 224 passengers. In a normal season, we'd find her in Barbados for the winter. She does Barbados back to back the whole of 6 months of winter, most definitely our most popular winter sailing, before she would transatlantic back to the Med, and then she's based out of Venice, again our most popular sailing. So that would be their itineraries in a normal year, and hopefully once we get back to sailing we can get them back sails up and get our customers on them and enjoying the sailing experience. So a bit of information about the ships for those of you who have not seen Star Clippers. They were launched in 1991, 1992 respectively, Star Clipper, Star Flyer. They have 2 pools on board, and everything you'd expect from a cruise ship we've got, but on a smaller scale. So lovely cabins, great dining room facilities, crew are fantastic, so everything you would expect but on a sailing ship. Royal Clipper, 5-mast, she holds 224 guests now, and we've taken a couple of cabins out for health and safety reasons for when we do start sailing. And she has 3 pools, a spa and a gym, and everything the other 2 ships have got, but on a much bigger scale. As I go through my presentation, I'll show you some images of inside the ship, which I'm sure you'll find equally as fascinating as I did when I first joined Star Clippers. They are absolutely beautiful in their teak and their brass and their heritage and their wonderful design around the ships. It takes you back to a place when these ships were the queens of the seas. So what's it all about once you're on board? Well, there's lots of reasons why you'd want to sail on Star Clippers, and where we can, we try to sail underneath natural conditions, so we can put our sails up and enjoy the weather conditions. But of course we can't always rely on the weather, not here or in the Med, so we do have to bear in mind that we have to put our engine on sometimes to make sure we get to where we need to be at the right time. We can drop anchor by some of the most beautiful yachts and mega yachts in the world. So if you're in somewhere like Palma or Ibiza or in the Caribbean, you might find yourself moored up alongside some of those super rich mega yachts that you see on the TV programs. So it does make you feel like an ultimate celebrity whilst you're on your cruise. The big point for me, though, is the fact that we go to some destinations that the big cruise lines don't go to. So maybe if you're in Greece, we go to Skopelos, Skiathos, Poros, Limanos. We do some of the bigger islands like Corfu, Rhodes and Santorini, but we tried to get a mix of some of the smaller ports as well. Of course, you're not expected to sail our ships. You are on there to have a holiday. But if you do want to join in, you can, of course, climb the crow's nest. So not for the faint-hearted, and you do need to wear a harness with the crew, but you can go right to the top and get some amazing pictures. And below there, you can see a view of what it looks like on top deck. So we've got a couple of plunge pools, plenty of sunbeds. They're in the shade and in the sun, plenty of seating area at the other side of the ship. And there you'll see on the side there, we've got our 2 tenders, our 2 Zodiacs, and then our 2 lifeboats. So we're pretty compact with everything we've got, but plenty of space. On top deck, you might find yoga in the mornings, walking around the ship for a bit of exercise. You might find stargazing in the evenings, or you might find the captain doing a talk. Talking to the captain, if you are interested in going to the bridge, we have an open door policy. So you're welcome to go and sit with the captain whenever you want to and hear all about navigation and how the ship works. If you're very energetic and you want to get involved in the rigging, then of course you are more than welcome to come along and help our crew put the sails up ready for departure. Of course, again, you can climb the process. So if you've got a real interest in sailing, then it's completely for you to go around and explore the ship and get to know it inside out. This has got to be the most popular things our customers do, which is going to the front of the ship onto the nets. Now, if you're lucky enough to have perhaps the Croatian coastline or the Caribbean, we had lots of dolphin activity around our ship. So if you're on the nets, you get to see the dolphins below you, and it's a really emotional, fantastic experience to have the dolphins underneath there whilst you're sitting there relaxing. So it's something a little bit different. One of the big parts of sailing on Star Clippers is our sailways. We are known for these across the world, and they are beautiful. We sail away in the evenings, so it's almost like we're sailing into a sunset. Every evening, everybody goes on top deck, all the lights come on the ship, and the sails go up to a piece of music by Vangelis called The Conquest of Paradise. It's very haunting, very magical, very romantic. And as you sail out of any port, all these people come out to watch you on this amazing tall ship to see what's happening. And you do get that feeling of being very special and sailing away to this music into the sunset. So what do we include? Like every cruise line, it's full board. So your breakfast, your lunch and your evening meal. We don't do any drinks packages, but your drinks you see on the menu. So if you're buying a gin and tonic, which will be about €4, sail away cocktail, €5, a beer, €3, that's the price you pay. We don't have any VAT or taxes to put on top. So it's nice and easy to regulate what you're spending. Tea and coffee and water is obviously free. The gratuities, it's down to the customers or down to yourselves what you want to pay. One thing we do that's super special is in the Caribbean and in Thailand is we might drop anchor on a deserted beach, take our barbecue, and we'll have an afternoon of being on the beach with barbecue and some local music and really relaxing and getting into the atmosphere of wherever you may be. Now, if you want to do excursions, we do have an excursion program. We don't send it out in advance of the cruise. Once you're on the ship, if you then want to make a decision, you can do so. But it's worth noting that a lot of our destinations we go right into the heart of it. So I was on the trip to include Ibiza, and we came right into the heart of Ibiza Old Town. Malaga, we came right alongside the front of the harbour. So for exploring cities and shopping and trying some local restaurants, they are all on your doorstep once you arrive in your destinations. Like every cruise line, the evening meal is a big part of the experience, and it is for us as well. It is open dining, so you can dine between 7 and 9. You can sit with who you want, when you want. It's very relaxed. The only thing we ask is that a gentleman wear long trousers. So once you go down for dinner, the maitre d' will ask you where you'd like to sit. If there's a particular friend you may have made, then they will put you all together. And we obviously always have our captain's night. No cruise would be complete without Baked Alaska and the crew coming around waving the napkins in the air. So we do still have that tradition as well. Now, this is inside Royal Clipper. When I first joined Star Clipper and I saw this picture, it blew me away. I couldn't believe that you could actually fit this atrium inside the tall ship, it just didn't look big enough, but it is. I've been on it. It's absolutely stunning, and you can see from its design it's really easy to navigate. And at this point I will point out to you, we don't have any lifts on board our ship, so you do need to be able-bodied to be able to navigate around the ship and to be able to get on and off her. Like every cruise line, it all happens around the bar area. Our bar areas are called the tropical bar. You can see that it's got an outside, and then through the doors takes you on the inside the bar, plenty of seating area and table service. This is also where we do our entertainment. Now, our entertainment is very tongue-in-cheek, so it could be anything from Royal Clippers Got Talent to a quiz night to dancing underneath the stars. The crew, the entertainment team, are there to support our customers with what they want to do, and they'll be driven by what everyone's feeling like doing on that evening. Now, all of our water sports except scuba diving are all complimentary. And on the back of Royal Clipper, we have a jetty that comes down where your customers can use to jump off, go snorkeling, kayaking, they can go paddle boarding, canoeing, they can go on the Zodiacs across to land. So all of that is completely free. Now, on our Asia program, we do have a dive instructor who sails with us. So if you are qualified and you want to go out scuba diving, there is an additional cost, but you can do that on selected sailings around Asia. So a real highlight for me, the water sport, especially when you're in somewhere like Asia and you go to a beach where there's no one else there and you get to really enjoy it all with your friends you've made on the ship. Let's move on to the cabins then. So I would say about 80% of our cabins would look like this. They are sufficient. They've got portholes. We do have a couple of inside cabins, but for the price difference, which can be anything from £60 to 120, you would probably want to upgrade and have an outside cabin. The configuration might come in a queen bed, a twin bed. We've got cabins with bunk beds as well. All cabins have got TVs. I'm just going to point out at this point, you're not on our ship to sit in your cabin and watch TV. You want to be on the top deck enjoying the wind through your hair and the sound of the sails. But if you do need to retire to your rooms, you have got the TV, and there's DVD player where you can borrow DVDs. We've got marble en-suites. You get all the facilities you'd expect from a cruise line, plenty of storage there, and of course turn down service. So the next category up, category 1, as you can see, slightly bigger, and it's got the picture window, and you find these further up the ship. Now, one question I get asked quite a lot about is whether you suffer with any seasickness. If you think you would be prone to it, then we will always offer you the best advice we can to where you should use, which cabin you should be going for on our ship. So mid deck, further up you go the better. When people ask us also about Wi-Fi, you can buy Wi-Fi on our ships, but just remember, they're not modern ships. They're not going to have full speed access to the internet, but you are going on to land every day. So hopefully that will work quite well for you if you do need to use the internet. Now, Deluxe Suites are only available on Royal Clipper, and there's only 14 of these. They do sell out really fast. They're at the top of the ship. They are much bigger than the other cabins, and they have that little bit of private outside space. So these ones do go quite quickly. But when it comes round to looking for advice on cabins, then of course we'll work with Matt and Lisa to make sure you get the right advice of cabins for yourselves. Moving on to destinations. So I've talked quite a bit about Thailand, and it's because I've been there most recently and had the best time. I did Phuket to Phuket, calling into Langkawi, and we are the only cruise line that is actually allowed to sail around the national parks in Thailand. And it really does show when you're out and you just see the long boats, you go around the big green limestones, you approach little islands where no one else is on them, with beautiful beaches and crystal clear water. But of course, you then get the Langkawi if you want to do a bit of exploring on the mainland. We also incorporated a Koh Samui sailing, which is really exciting for us. So this will be Koh Samui, and you have got the option of 11 and 10 night sailing, which will take you into Cambodia, where we have an overnight stop where you can then book to go and see Angkor Wat, if that's on your bucket list. Been lucky enough to go and see this myself, and it really is breathtaking, so would recommend you'd add that on if you were to do this sailing. And of course, with these sailings you can do extensions, so if you wanted some time in Singapore, or if you wanted to go up to Bangkok, or if you want to do Chiang Mai, we can look at putting that all together for you. Sadly, we have making the decision to make Star Clipper's last sailing in Asia in March 2022. Although it's really sad to be leaving Asia because it is a fabulous place to sail, the demand for our European market is much higher. So we're bringing Star Clipper back to the Med. So for the first time ever, we'll have all 3 of our ships sailing in the Med at the same time. So although we are sad to leave Asia, we are really happy to have a 3rd ship coming into the Mediterranean. Talking of which, we split it into Eastern and Western. So Eastern Med is Athens. We used to call this the Mamma Mia sailing, but we changed the name because people got a bit disillusioned that it might be a themed cruise, and not everybody surprisingly likes Mamma Mia. So as you can see, it's Skopelos, Skiathos, Limnos, Poros, the most beautiful parts of Greece you'll ever go to, unspoiled, beautiful scenery. You can take yourself off the ship and head into Skiathos town, have a nice mythos and a Greek salad, and really get involved in that culture before getting back on your ship for a nice sail away. Now, as I mentioned before, Venice is our most popular, and the Dalmatian coast along Croatia is by far the best sailings in Europe, so you are more likely to get your sails up. Now, the Amalfi Coast and the French Riviera, who wouldn't want to sail past there with all those mega yachts? And again, we can help you with add-ons around those destinations. So with Star Clipper's coming to the Med, she'll be joining us in April, and she'll be doing 4 sailings, and they will be from Istanbul to Athens. Truly spectacular coming in and out of Istanbul. We've not done this sailing for many years, so we're really excited it's back on our itinerary. Fantastic pricing starting at £1,600 per person for 7-night sailing, and of course we can add your flights on a pre and post stay if you would choose to as well. We have our ocean crossings, which will be at the start and the end of every season before coming into the Caribbean. So Royal Clipper's in Barbados, and as you can see, she goes to the fan favourite islands of the UK passengers, such as St Lucia, Grenada, St Vincent, and down there you've got St Martin, which is the truly luxurious boutique destination of British Virgin Islands. So whether you want to see a bit more of the bigger islands or really explore those smaller islands, we can offer both experiences. What's lovely in the Caribbean is actually Star Clipper, Starflyer and Royal Clipper actually sail alongside some parts of their sailing, and it really is a magnificent sight to see. So once you're on board our ship, you do need to kind of bear in mind that you do need to be able-bodied. We do find, if you're on your own and you want to travel, we have some great solo supplements. In fact, we've got some supplements of zero on board some of our sailings, but we also offer some really unique sailings. And just a couple of them to point out to you is the Panama Canal. As you can see there, Royal Clipper's just going into her, a real favourite with customers. Monaco Grand Prix. Being from Monaco, for us, it's really important that our ships are in there. So it's destined for 28th of May 2022 is the next Monaco finals day. And already we're selling really fast on our Royal Clipper sailings. So you'll be there for the race day. You'll also be there. You can get tickets to the grandstand before having a fantastic sailing. Perhaps you're more into the Orient Express, we can do that for you. We can do London to Venice, and then you can get on Royal Clipper, or the other way around. And maybe something a bit different is there's some trains in Spain that do fantastic routes around about Andalusia. We can encourage that and incorporate that into your sailing as well. We can also do trains from the UK, so if you're not too keen on flying, we can of course rail you down to Venice, Rome or Nice, where you can join the sailing. So if that's something that you'd rather do and have a much more relaxing way to join the ship, then let us know, we can work with you on that. Now we are up on sale until March 2023, and if you speak to Matt and Lisa, they'll be able to give you the brochure details. And we've got some early booking discounts. We don't discount anything else, only on our early booking discounts, back to back. And as I mentioned before, we do some great solo rates. So just to leave you this final thought, this is of Royal Clipper just about to leave Venice. And as you can see, she really does go into the heart of Venice. Truly beautiful ship with loads to offer, particularly when she's got her sails up. I really hope that you found my presentation on Star Clippers useful today. And if you have any questions, then obviously you can speak to Matt and Lisa. Happy sailing, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Brilliant. That's amazing. Thanks, Nicola. There's so much information in there, and I'm sure everybody will agree that the ships do look amazing. I'd love to go on one myself. Not been on one before. Not quite sure you'd get me climbing up to the top of the crow's nest.
Oh, Lisa, you say that now when you get on board.
I'm sure that,
Everyone's
like
doing
you
it.
said, the views from up there as well must be so amazing, and I think from doing one of your sailings there's just so many unique experiences in there for people to do. So definitely, if you're a sailor, if you like what you've seen in the video, then please get in touch with myself and Matt, and we'll be able to help get you on one of these fantastic tall ships. Brilliant. So thanks, Nicola, for taking the time to do the recording with us, and thank you everybody for watching the video. If you'd like to click the subscribe button, that will mean that you will see all of our other videos. You'll get updated when we upload new videos to our channel. We've got some fantastic other recordings on here, so please have a look at those as well and get some inspiration for where you might like to go on your next holiday. Matt, anything to add?
I just can't believe that not everyone likes Mamma Mia, to be honest. But I'm the same as you, Nicola. I cannot believe when you're showing those images that is inside of Royal Clipper. I just can't believe it. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
But it really is. I think the first time I went on it, it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe that atrium fitted inside that ship, and it's so easy to navigate around. But I think the biggest thing is the charm. It just reaps it as you walk around. You just feel like you step back in time, and when they were the queens of the seas and these were the only way to travel. It really is that unique experience. And I am lucky enough to have done quite a few of the sailings, and although we haven't released just yet where Star Clipper is going to be for winter 2022-2023, I can assure you it's something very different. It's not the Caribbean, it's not Asia, but it is long haul. Once we've got the confirmed itineraries, we'll be in touch with you both and you can share this information, but it's definitely going to be a destination that's of interest to nearly everyone I know, and I'm sure you two will find it fascinating as well.
Oh, fantastic. We'll have to have a little think about that one, Matt, won't we? And have a little guess where that one might be.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Lovely. That's great. Well, as I say, Nick, thanks very much for doing the recording.
You're welcome.
Really lots of information there. Lots of, you know, I'm sure the clients will watch that, and it's certainly something to think about. It's bucket list trip, I think, some of those destinations that you've mentioned.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you'll find some of them. We're just about to launch our Orient Express stroke Royal Clipper experience for July, August next year, and it's just phenomenal. We sold out last year for this year. It didn't happen, but in fact, it was Travel Councils that booked it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
there you go. So definitely get in touch with myself and Matt if that video is of interest to you. And as I mentioned earlier, please subscribe to our YouTube channel just to keep up to date with all of the videos that myself and Matt are doing. So thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye.